American Fork High School for the Utah Elite 8 basketball tournament. I'm Dusty Lister. Thanks for joining us. Our matchup, the Skyview Bobcats and the American Fork Cavemen. Welcome, everybody. So glad to have you along with us. Got a lot of fun coming up in the next couple of days. It's a chance to see the best teams in the state, also some of the best players in the state, be able to do battle here in American Fork. And our matchup tonight, we got one of the better players in the state of Utah, in Brennan Bailey, the young man from American Fork. He's only a junior, is already committed to Arizona State, as you well know. He's a player to watch out for when you watch American Fork. He shoots from outside. He's a deadly jump shooter for Coach Doug Meacham. He is teamed with Spencer Johnson. Young man has played very, very well here in the early part of the season. Expect American Fork get up and down the floor. Skyview, a little bit of an unknown to us. Get a chance to see a Cache Valley team come into the night. It'll be a lot of fun to watch Austin Jepson and Bryce Mortensen, both of which average double figures. The only ones on the Bobcats in double figures. They're going to play very well. They also slow down the game as American Fork likes to get up and down the court. This would be a fun matchup between a team that likes to play half court, another team likes to get up and down the floor. But you know our teams, you know a couple players to watch for. We come back, it'll be opening tip-off. You are watching High School Rewind, only on Xfinity On Demand. Now we're about set to get started between American Fork and Skyview. Jumping for the Bobcats can be Bryce Mortensen, the junior. Remember, Bryce Mortensen was also on our all-state football team for our High School Rewind selections. He'll be jumping up against number 44, Dallin Harley. Dallin also, well, he's a senior, 6'7" senior, jumping up against a 6'6" junior. Skyview in the road blacks, trimmed in baby blue. We're underway in the High School Rewind Game of the Week. Mortensen gets the tip, hands off, and we'll start with the Bobcats. Hanging out at Region 5, which will be really hotly contested. You got Skyview. Mountain Crest played earlier and lost a tough one to Davis. Down the lane, couldn't get it to goal. The rebound, got it, put it up, and missed the point break layup. It's Downs. And now up top with Jake Hendricks. Hendricks, now Austin Jepson. Downs on the screen. Now up top to Bryce Mortensen. He'll pull for three. That's off the mark and rebound to Harley. And now on the run with the Cavemen. Spencer Johnson ahead to Bailey. Bailey tried to get it inside, and that's knocked out of bounds. We'll stay here. Inbound into Harley, now to hands of Polton. Up top, Condi. Now Spencer Johnson, Brennan Bailey. How about the young man going to Arizona State? Bailey pulls for three. Off the mark, and a rebound taken by Johnson. Puts it back on the floor, goes up with the left hand and scores it. First points of the ball game, and it's a 2-0 American Fork lead. Quickly back down the floor with the Bobcats. Riley Panther. Remember 2 years ago with Jalen Moore. Went on a big run at the end of the season and through the 4A state tournament. Had the Sports Center top 10 play with his buzzer-beating shot in the semis. Downs. Near side with Panther. Panther had about balls off the mark, trying to get inside of Mortensen. Will stay here with Skyview. This is Jake Hendricks. Hendricks trying to get inside, does the Downs. Downs goes up with it, is fouled. It'll be two free throws coming away at Downs. First free throw was good for Downs. First foul of the game against American Fork, also the first foul. Polton, as Downs knocks down both free throws. Ties us up at 2. 6:25 remaining in the first quarter. Down the floor with Brennan Condi. Condi cross court to Spencer Johnson. Back to Condi. Along the baseline, Polton. Here's Bailey. Bailey falling away, thought he was going to foul call, did not. Wildly off the mark. Rebound to Skyview quickly down the floor. Panther working on the dribble. Kicks it out. Three on the way from Hendricks. Off the mark, rebound. Taken by Mortensen. Mortensen back up with it. Is fouled and one. Bryce Mortensen with the board and bucket. He'll go to the line looking for a three-point play. Second foul on Polton. He comes out and gives way to Harris, who can shoot it well from the outside, and Mortensen misses the free throw. And it's 4-2 in favor of Skyview. Condi brings it down, gives it to Johnson. In the corner to Bailey. Bailey working on Hendricks. Drops it into Harley. Harley back to Bailey on the give and go. Can't finish. And a rebound will go to Downs. And we got a foul on the floor. against Skyview. Foul goes on Riley Panther, the first team foul on Skyview. Got into Johnson. 2-3 zone from Skyview. Condi now Harris. Up top, Spencer Johnson back to Harris. He'll pull for three. And Harris off the mark, rebound to Downs. And now on the run with the Bobcats. Cooking down the floor with Panther. In the corner to Mortensen, back to Downs, big fella. Pirouettes in the lane and scores. And it's now 6-2 in favor of Skyview. 4 points for Downs here in the early minutes. 5:05 remaining in the first quarter. Here's Johnson. Cross court to Harris. Now back to Johnson. Johnson in the lane, ball fake to the rim, no. And a loose ball collected by Bailey. Bailey goes back up with it and scores. First bucket for Brendan Bailey. Now 6-4. 4:45 remaining in the first quarter. Nice find inside to Mortensen. Knees foul. That'll be going to Spencer Johnson. That'll be the third team foul on American Fork. Inbound into Hendricks. Hendricks is fouled by Harris. It's now team foul number 4 on the Cavemen. Quick into Mortensen. Can't get it to go. Downs fighting for the board. It's still loose. And we've got a jump ball on the possession arrow. Belongs to American Fork. It's after the jump ball back down the floor with Brendan Condi. Here's Harris. Now to Brendan Bailey. First year of the Utah Elite 8 tournament. Got a lot of good teams bringing 2 games for the 3 days of the tournament as Spencer Johnson hits the baseline jumper. Ties us up at 6 with 3:55 remaining in the quarter. We're bringing a total of 6 games, including the championship and semifinals. So go through the on-demand menu and find those games. Also, our 4A and 5A preview shows. Coming to a stop, and the baseline jumper is good from Austin Jepson, and it's 8-6 in favor of Skyview. Quickly down the floor now with Condi. Condi gives it up to Bailey. Back to Condi. Rarely looks for a shot through facilitating point guard for Coach Meacham. The starting point guard in last year's team that made it to the 5A semis. Bailey pulls for 3, and Bailey knocks down the triple. And it's 9-8. Bailey now with 5 points. Back down the floor. Jepson up top to Mortensen. Big size advantage with Downs, and a 3 on the way. Off the mark, off the hands of Jepson, now on the push with Brendan Bailey. Ahead to Harris. Harris thought about 3 and had that ball knocked out of bounds and will stay here. Carden Porter checks in. First team foul on Skyview. Johnson for 3, that's off the mark. Harley goes up, gets the board, and goes to the floor, and get him with the travel. It'll go to Skyview. Coach Meacham none too pleased with the traveling call. Back down the floor with Skyview. Here's Jepson. Jepson off the screen at Carden, and we got a foul on the moving screen on Carden. We'll go the other way with AF. First foul on Carden Porter, the second team foul on Skyview. 14 fouls on American Fork, 2 on Skyview, 2:30 remaining in the opening quarter. In the corner to Condi. Condi tried to drop it in, nobody home. And quickly back down the floor with the Bobcats is Riley Panther. Panther up top with Jepson. Now to Jake Hendricks. Hendricks terminates and gets it up top to Porter. Deliberate offense from the Bobcats. Trying to get inside to Porter, was nobody home. Picked up by Harley, now on the push with the Cavemen. Condi into the corner to Brendan Bailey. 1:45 now on the clock. Bailey into Johnson, kicks it out. Harris will pull for 3. And that goes in and out, gets his own board, goes up in the left hand, and scores. Nice job of sticking with it and following his shot. Quickly down the floor now with Skyview. 11-8 to lead for American Fork with 1:25 remaining in the first quarter. Austin Jepson up top to Bryce Mortensen. Three on the way and off the mark from Jepson. Porter with the board, kicks it out. Panther can't get it to go, and the loose ball rebound taken by Porter, and Carter Porter lays it up and in, and it's now 11-10. 1 minute now remaining in the first quarter. Cross court, Brendan Bailey now to Condi. On the baseline, Harley. Cross court, Harris back to Johnson. In the lane, picked off by Jepson. Now Jake Hendricks. Hendricks working on Bailey. He terminates. Gets it up top to Austin Jepson. 40 seconds now remaining. He'll hand back to Panther. Into the corner along the baseline, Mortensen, and Mortensen fouled by Harley. The 15th foul on the Cavemen. Holbrook quickly gets it in. Hendricks' shot is short. Holbrook with the board. Gets it back to Hendricks, so 25 seconds now on the clock. Down the lane, swatted away by Polton. On the run, Harris gets it ahead to Judd. Benji Judd with the right hand, can't finish. Rebound to Bailey. Judd kicks it out. Harris will pull for three, and ellipse out of the rebound. Still loose, taken now in the hands of Judd. 9 seconds left in the quarter. Cross court, Harris. Back to Judd, 5 seconds, 3 seconds. Judd along the baseline, kicks it out. Three on the way from Johnson. And that'll end the first quarter. At the end of one, Cavemen 11 and the Bobcats 10. Start of the second quarter, we'll start with Skyview. One of the top teams in the state, American Fork, by 1 point at the end of the first frame. Jepson was falling out of bounds, got it away. Now Holbrook. And that goes through the hands of Hendricks, and we'll go the other way. To our four spotlight players, it was a low-scoring first quarter. Let's see if they get it going here in the second. Three on the way, no good from Spencer Johnson. Rebound to Bailey. Bailey will jump it up and score. 13-10. Back down the floor with the Bobcats. Reagan Holbrook terminates, and he's fouled by Benji Judd. Judd had a hold of his jersey and will stay here. Foul's called on Braden Harris, his first, team sixth. Doing the bonus the rest of the way for Skyview. Hendricks on the angle with Panther. Panther cross court to Downs. The big fella tracks it down. Got a foul away from the ball, and that's going to go against American Fork, and that'll be one-on-one free throws. Panther made the first. And Backrims is second. We got a foul on the rebound. And that's going to go against Downs. Still trying to keep track of. We got 7-3 now of the fouls. That'll tighten up here really quickly. With 6:55 now rolling on the clock. That was a tough call against Downs. He didn't argue it. Here's Judd. Now to Johnson. Johnson up top to Bailey. Now Harris. High post to Polton. Johnson off the screen, gets it out to Harris. And Harris again will pull for three. And this one goes down. Braden Harris from the outside. He's got 5 points in the half. And it's now 16-11 in favor of American Fork. Holbrook up top to Panther. Panther now to Mortensen. Quiet in the first quarter, drops it into the big fella. Downs is fouled and one. Big fella got the bump and bucket. He'll go to the line looking for the three-point play. The third foul on Polton, 8th team foul on the Cavemen. Downs hits the free throw. Unofficially now with 5 points in the half. Quickly down the floor with Condi. Skyview trapping, gets it up to Bailey. Brendan Bailey dribbles to the corner, gets back to Condi. He swings Harris, now Judd. Judd out to Bailey. Bailey will pull for three and knocks it down. It's a tough three. That pass was low. Takes some of the timing off, but able to knock it down. The ball knocked out of bounds off of Skyview. And we'll go with American Fork. 19-14, the lead for the Cavemen. 5:45 remaining in the first half. Bailey cross to Judd. Here's Condi. Down the corner, Judd. Now Bailey Bailey again for three. The third three of the half for Brennan Bailey. And it's now 22-14 in favor of American Fork. So back-to-back possessions with threes from Bailey. 8-point lead for the Cavemen. Hendricks drops it into Downs. Big fella, muscles way, blocked by Harley. Judd on the push. Ahead to Harley. Right hand and finishes. Nice job by the big guy. Gets a block on one end, the bucket on the other. 24-14 in favor of the Cavemen. Hansen trying to get inside, and Harley now with three very good possessions. We're going to move with Judd. Terminates a long way away from the hoop. Here's Harris. He'll pull for three. And Harris's second three. Timeout, Skyview. 4:48 remaining in the first half. 27-14. The American Fork offense coming alive. Out of the timeout, down the floor, here's Hansen. Now to Mortensen on the angle. Inside it down, stolen by Condi. Condi terminates, and that's picked off by Hansen. Cookie back down the floor. Here's Panter. Mortensen. Outside, three on the way from Hendricks, and Hendricks knocks down the triple. Skyview needed that one, pulls them within 10, 27-17. Benji Judd drops it into Harley. Harley faces up on Mortensen, gets it up top to Condi. Condi will pull for three. And Braden Condi from downtown. Did a lot of AF games last year. This is our second this year. It might be the first three I've seen Condi knock down or even attempt. And we got a foul on the floor against American Fork. It'll be front end of one-on-one free throws coming up for Panther. Second foul on Benji Judd. 9th team foul on the Cavemen. It'll be 2 free throws for Skyview, the remainder of the half. As Panther knocks them both down, it's now 30. It should be the 30-19. Got 30-18 on the scoreboard right now. Johnson had that ball picked off. Panther going the other way. 1-on-3. Panther pirouettes is fouled by Condi. It'll be 2 free throws coming away at Panther. First free throw was good from Panther. Second one rolls out. Johnson with the board. It's now 30-20. 3:25 remaining in the half. Here's Judd. Now to Condi, who just hit the three. Condi drops it into Harley. Harley up top to Johnson. Johnson down the lane. Splits the defenders, lays off the window. Can't get it to go. Put it on the floor now with Panther. Panther thought about the transition three. Gives it up. Jepson. Out to Hendricks for three. And Hendricks knocks down his second of the quarter. It is now a 7-point game. 30-23. 2:55 now remaining in the half. Down the floor with Condi. Condi to Judd. Drop it into Harley. Harley faces up, goes baseline, is fouled on the floor. It's only the 4th team foul against Skyview. Condi inbounds into Harley. 2:45 now on the clock. Lob it up to Harley, and he can't get to it. Panther comes down with a loose ball. And back down the floor with the Bobcats, a chance to get it down to 5 and possibly 4 with the three-pointer. Panther into the corner. Hendricks for three. He hits three in the corner. And Hendricks pulls it within 4. Timeout, Coach Beecham. 2:27 remaining in the half. Hendricks with 3 threes in the quarter pulls the Bobcats within 4. Out of the timeout, down the floor, Benji Judd hands off to Condi. American Fork got a little fancy in the last little bit. The Skyview's offense coming alive. Got to withstand the spurt. Foul on Downs. It'll be the 5th team foul on the Bobcats. Bailey gets it into Harley. Downs will go to the bench with 2 fouls. Harley, miscommunication with Bailey. Now on the push with Hendricks. Hendricks nearly had it stolen. Got the loose ball back, and Hendricks lays it up and in. 8 points in the quarter for Hendricks. It's now a 2-point ball game. Caveman up as much as 13 points in the quarter. 13 points in the last 5 minutes. Condi looked inside to Harley. He'll pull for 3. Condi off the mark. Rebound taken by Jepson. Bobcats can tie or take the lead. Down the floor with Hendricks. He's got the hot hand. Transition 3. off the back of the iron, and the rebound clicked it by Harley and hands it off to Spencer Johnson. Johnson will push it up the floor. Johnson transition three, and Spencer Johnson from downtown stops the bleeding and extends the lead to 5, 33-28, with 1 minute and 10 seconds remaining in the first half. Got down the floor with Hendricks, working on Bailey. And we're going to have a foul on Brennan Bailey. It'll be 2 free throws coming away of Hendricks. First free throw good from Hendricks. And back rims his second. Harley with the board, 33-29. 1 minute remaining in the half. Here's Spencer Johnson. Johnson up top to Condi. Condi drops it in, tried to drop it inside to Harley. Kicked out of bounds and will stay here. Judd triggers into Bailey. Bailey working on Hendricks. Bailey down the lane, swatted away. The block by number, we don't have a 30 on our roster, we apologize. Quickly down the floor. In the hands of Panther. 35 seconds remaining in the half. Panther working on Johnson. Crazy shot, floated up, won't go. Harley with the board. Condi walks it up. 25 seconds remaining in the half. Condi will hand off to Spencer Johnson. Entertaining first half, especially the second quarter with the threes from Hendricks. Tightening this game up. Here's Condi. 10 seconds. 5 seconds. Johnson in the lane. Johnson to the rim and finishes with 2 seconds. And pass is stolen. Harley won't get it off. And a fun end to the first half. It's the Cavemen 35 and the Bobcats 31. High School Rewind is excited to have Nudge as our Player of the Game sponsor. Nudge is one of the fastest growing companies in Utah Valley. With over 500 employees, Nudge is one of the largest contributors of volunteer community outreach programs. To learn more about Nudge and their program, visit www.nudge.com. Start of the second half, we'll start with the Cavemen. What a close to the first half for the Bobcats. Looks like American Fork might pull away in this one, but a barrage of threes pulled the Bobcats back in, and Braden Harris knocks down his third three of the ball game. And he gets started off hot in the third quarter, Now a 9-point lead, 38-29. Hendricks, he's one with the hot hand in the second quarter, pulling the Bobcats back in this game. Had it down to 2. And a nice close for American Fork. Up top with Panther. Panther now over to Hendricks. Now Mortensen. Mortensen, one of our open players, a little quiet to get started. Up to the big fella Downs. Downs back to Jepson. Jepson's our other open player from Skyview, 2 leading scorers. Quiet in this game. Hendricks, crazy altering shot. Gets Downs with the board and then lays it up and in. And it's 38-31. Skyview hanging around. Condi terminates, kicks it out to Harley. Harley will jump it and score it. Big fella rally ranges out that far, knocks down the long range J. And it's now 40-31. Back down the floor with Jepson. Hendricks. He hands off to Jepson. Jepson terminates, gets back to Panther. Panther in the corner to Mortensen. Mortensen in the lane, kicks it out to Jepson. Condi with him. Jepson in the lane. Terminates, still looking. Got to get rid of the ball. Very close to a 3-second call. Panther back in the corner to Mortensen. 6:05 now on the clock. Mortensen in the key. Left hand and one. Nice take and finish by Bryce Mortensen. Tough call against American Fork. It'll be the first team foul on the Cavemen. Foul goes against Brennan Bailey, his second. Mortensen back rims the free throw. 40-33 our score. Condi quickly in the front court. Condi drops to Harley. Harley faces up, jumps it. Can't get it to go. Rebound to Mortensen. Mortensen hands off Hendricks. Hendricks to Panther for 3. And that's off the mark. And we got let's say go over the top of the backboard, and we'll go with American Fork. Condi will walk it up the floor. Condi now to Bailey. Bailey gets it to Harris. Harris outside to Condi. Condi drops it in, Bailey, and we're going to have a foul on Hendricks. It'll be the first team foul on Skyview. Condi triggers into Johnson. Johnson up top to Harris. Now Harley. Harley again a long range two. Say he doesn't shoot him very often. He shot 3 here in the third quarter. Knocks down 2 of them. 42-33. Cavemen lead now at 5 minutes remaining in the third quarter. Hendricks, nice find inside as Mortensen lays it up and in. 42-35. Condi quickly back down the floor for the Cavemen. Yet to hear from Bailey here in the second half. Spencer Johnson. Will hand off to Condi. Now Brennan Bailey looks inside to Harley, gets it to him. Harley goes to the hoop and is fouled. I believe that'll be against Bryce Mortensen. Be the second team foul on the Bobcats. Harley made the first free throw and makes the second. Back up to a 9-point lead, 44-35. And out of bounds off of Braden Harris. 44-35, 4.5 remaining in the third quarter. Here's Hendricks. Haven't heard from him in the third quarter. In the corner, Jepson for 3. And that's off the mark, off the hands of Porter. Porter tried to save it, but it's out of bounds. We'll go back with American Fork. Up the floor with Condi. Condi is fouled on the floor by Jepson. Bailey gets it into Harley. Hands back to Condi. In the corner, Bailey working on Hendricks. Bailey got hot there in the second quarter. Fall away won't go. Rebound to Porter. In the hands of Hendricks. Hendricks down the lane to the bucket and is fouled by Harley. Oh, that'd be a clean block. Might have gone with the body. It'll be the second team foul on American Fork and 2 free throws coming away of Hendricks. Hendricks hits both free throws. 44-37. 3:45 remaining in the third quarter. Quiet third quarter from both these teams. Started out pretty quick, mellowed out really fast. Johnson up top to Condi. Condi now over to Harris. Harris, high post to Harley. Big fella back to Condi in the corner to Johnson. Spencer Johnson along the baseline, gets it to Bailey for 3. And that goes in and out. Rebound to Johnson, and he's fouled. I believe that'll be against Hendricks. That'd be 3 fouls on Hendricks. It'll be the 14th foul on Skyview. Condi inbounds into Harris. That is the second foul on Hendricks. 14 fouls on Skyview, 2 on the Cavemen. Johnson gives it back to Condi. He'll set up the offense. 2-3 zone from Skyview. Here's Harley. Nice find inside to Johnson, out of bounds. And you say off of Johnson's hands. We'll go back with the Bobcats. We get down the floor. Panther up top with Holbrook. Back to Panther. Here's Hendricks. Hendricks will pull for 3 and knocks it down. Number 4 for Hendricks on the night. And it's back to a 4-point game, 44-40, with 2:25 remaining in the third quarter. This game needs a little bit more pace to it. This has come to a screeching halt as Harris hands back to Harley. Harley working on Porter. There's going to be a foul on the floor. It's the 15th foul on Skyview. Inbound into Harley, back rims it. On the push now with Hendricks. Trailing by 3 points. Hendricks hard to the hole, off the window and good. Jake Hendricks. What a find for the Bobcats in this ball game. He's kept them in it. 2-point ball game. 1:55 remaining in the third quarter. Johnson hands back to Harley. That'll be a 2-pointer. Off the front of the iron and out of bounds off of Harris, and we'll go with Skyview. For a chance for the Bobcats to tie or take the lead here. First time since it was 30-28 at the end of the first half. Here's Hendricks. Outside to Holbrook, drop it into downs. Tapped away by Harris. He picks up the loose ball in the hands of Braden Condi on the push down. 1:25 remaining in the quarter. Johnson to Harris. Up top, Condi swings it near side to Bailey. Thought about three and hangs on to it. Bailey very quiet in the quarter. Only took a couple of shots thus far. 1:10 now remaining in the quarter. Here's Bailey. See if AF is going to hold for the final shot. See a lot of times around 1 minute remaining. Now a minute remaining in the quarter. Polton up top to Bailey. Bailey working along the baseline, loses the handle, and we'll go the other way with Skyview. So after the turnover, 45 seconds remaining in the third quarter. Gets a chance to tie or take the lead for the Bobcats in the corner. Jepson. Panther for three, and that's off the mark. Skyview wanting a foul, not going to get it. Goes over the top of the backboard, and we'll go with American Fork. 30 seconds remaining in the quarter. Benji Judd will walk into the front court for Coach Meacham. Looking for the final shot of the quarter. Interesting end of the third quarter. Again, offense coming alive for the Bobcats in the form of Jepson. Johnson in the corner. Harris will pull for three, and that's off the mark. Bailey with the board, goes back up and scores. 3 seconds remaining. See if they get a final shot. They will be well short. And at the end of three quarters, it's 46-42. American Fork leading Skyview. Start of the fourth quarter. Jepson for three, and it hits the top. And they'll be out of bounds. We'll go with American Fork. A lot of the new gyms in the state. Interesting, they have the strap that goes in front of the pole. You have those high bouncing shots. You might have a chance to come back down. Now we're out of bounds. Interesting decisions. Thus we digress and back into the game. Here's Harris. Cross court to Benji Judd. Start of quarters have been very good to American Fork. The close of every quarter have been very good to Skyview. Brandon Bailey can get called for a carry, and we'll go the other way with Skyview. So back down the floor with the Bobcats. Hendricks, leading scorer tonight in the game. Played very, very well for Skyview. Without him, they're in big trouble tonight. Outside to Mortensen. Mortensen up top, Panner. American Fork has switched it up into a man-to-man, and Skyview struggling a little bit with it here to get started. Mortensen working on Bailey. Into the corner to Downs. Big fella pulls for three, and Downs knocks down the triple. Tyler Downs is 6'5", will have his weight. Obviously a lineman for the Bobcats in the football season. Knocks down the three, and it's 46-45. We have not had a one-point game tonight. Pardon me, it was 11-10. Johnson outside to Judd, in the corner to Johnson. Or pardon me, that's Harris. Up top, Polton. Polton outside to Spencer Johnson. Johnson working on Mortensen. Puts it on the floor, gets fouled. They're going to call it on the floor. That'll be the 16th foul on the Bobcats. It'll be bonus free throws the remainder of the fourth quarter. Quick inbound back to Bailey, and he's fouled. And Bailey will go to the line to shoot 2 free throws. First free throw good from Bailey. The second good as well. 48-45. Quickly down the floor. Panther along the baseline is fouled by Spencer Johnson. Third team foul on the Cavemen. 7 on the Bobcats, 3 on the Cavemen. Panther inbounds into Mortensen. Mortensen back to the hole, off the window and good. Bryce Mortensen gets it back to a one-point game, 48-47. 5:40 remaining in the fourth quarter. Here's Judd. Up top with Harley. Harley hands back to Bailey. Brendan Bailey on the dribble. Takes a bump, and we got a block, and it'll be one-on-one free throws. A foul will go against Jepson. Bailey will be at the line. Front end rims out for Bailey. Rebound to Downs in the hands of Panther. A chance to take the lead for Skyview. They'll hand back to Hendricks. Belabored it, but Hendricks had the hot hand tonight for the Bobcats. Here's Mortensen. Now to Jepson. Mortensen and Jepson have been the leading scorers coming into this game. Now Hendricks working on the drive. We're going to have a foul. We're going to call it on Bailey. That'll be number 3, and that'll be the 4th team foul on American Fork. Quick inbound to Mortensen, and Mortensen gives the Skyview Bobcats their first lead, 49-48. They had led 6-2 in the early moments of this game and have not led since. Bailey pulls for 3, and that lips out. Rebound to Harley. And Harley has that one stripped away and hands back to Judd. Judd inside out to Johnson. Johnson along the baseline. He's swatted from behind by Hendricks. Jepson with the ball, and we'll walk it into the front court. In the hands of Hendricks, and a chance to extend the lead for Skyview. Down the lane, Hendricks. Crazy shot. Downs with the board, and Downs lays it up and in. And it's now 51-48. Timeout. American Fork, 4:24 remaining in the fourth quarter. Bobcats by 3. Out of the timeout, American Fork walk up the floor. This Condi. Now Spencer Johnson. Johnson off the screen of Harley. And we have a foul on Downs, and that will be 1-on-1 free throws for Spencer Johnson. Johnson had a good second quarter, quiet in the third. Hit the first free throw, the front end of 1-on-1, and then the second is good as well. 1-point ball game, 51-50. Quickly down the floor with Hendricks. 2-3 zone from AF. Hendricks working on Johnson, hands back to Jepson. Jepson in the lane, terminates, hands back to Mortensen. Mortensen terminates in the lane, kicks it out to Panther. Harris coming out after Panther. 3:50 now on the clock. Panther hands back Jepson. Jepson again below the free throw line. Pirouette's in the lane, gives it up to Downs, loses the handle, gets it back, goes up and is swatted away by Johnson, and will stay here. Panther to inbound, gets it in the corner. Hendricks. And we have a foul on the floor against Johnson. That'll be the 5th team foul against American Fork. Quick inbound into Mortensen, try to get into Downs, swatted away by Harley. Downs got the loose ball back. Into the corner, Hendricks thought about 3. Pulls up for 3, and Hendricks hits his 5th. 5 threes in the game for Hendricks, and it's 54-50. Skyview leads. Harley hands over to Johnson. Big moments coming up for American Fork. Johnson takes a bump from Downs, and Spencer Johnson will go to the line to shoot 2 free throws. First free throw was good from Johnson. Chance to pull within 2. And he hits them both. 54-52, 3:14 remaining in the fourth quarter. Back down the floor we go with Skyview. Hendricks has hit 5 3-pointers in this ball game. And it'll be timeout Skyview with 3:07 remaining in the fourth. So out of the timeout, 3:07 remaining in the fourth quarter. The inbound into Panther. Judd right with him. Panther gets away from Judd. In the lane, floats it up, and can't get it to go on the rebound. Taken by Harley. Inside of 3 minutes. Down the floor we go with Braden Condi. Condi will hand off to Brennan Bailey. Bailey loses the handle. The ball still loose. Condi will track it down. 2:40 now on the clock in the fourth quarter. Now Johnson. Johnson drops it into Harley. He'll face up on Downs, kick it back out top to Condi. 2:25 remaining in the fourth quarter. Johnson, oh, nice give and go, and Harley lays it up and in and ties us up at 54 apiece. Hendricks, dangerous pass. Mortensen working on Bailey, loses the handle, goes back up, probably should have been travel. Didn't get the call. Harley with the board on the miss. Hands off to Condi. 2 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter. Moments you learn about your team and get your prep for the state tournament. Who's going to step up and be a leader in this game as they need it? Hands back to Benji Judd, now Johnson. Johnson going to work on Mortensen. We're going to have a foul on Mortensen on the drive. It'll be 2 free throws. First free throw good from Johnson. And the second gives American Fork a 66-60 56-54 lead. Can Skyview continue to answer? 1.5 remaining. In the corner, Mortensen. Up top, Jepson. Jepson terminates, goes up with it, and scores. 56 all, timeout Skyview. 1:23 remaining in the fourth quarter. 1 minute, 20 seconds remaining in the fourth quarter, tied at 56. Down the floor, Braden Condi. Condi off the screen to Harley. Hands back to Johnson. Spencer Johnson for three. That's in and out of the rebound taken by Hendricks. And Hendricks is going to walk it up and going to hold on. Well, it looked like that was the call from the coach from the sideline. Hendricks goes hard to the hole and is fouled. There'll be 2 free throws coming the way of Hendricks. Hendricks missed the first and back rims the second. Rebound to Brennan Bailey. Timeout, American Fork with 52.7 remaining in the fourth quarter. Bailey will inbound with 52.7 seconds remaining in the fourth quarter. See if American Fork gets a shot up. They're going to hold for the final shot. 45 seconds remaining. Spencer Johnson hands off to Bailey. Skyview coaching staff wanting the carry call. Trying to get inside to Harley, and it's stolen. In the hands of Downs. He'll put it in the hands of Jepson. 30 seconds remaining. Right now, Skyview. Coach Hilliard saying one shot. Cross court to Jepson. 20 seconds now on the clock. 15 seconds as Jepson holds. Now in the hands of Hendricks. Hendricks with 10 seconds. Hendricks pulls up for three. Hendricks knocks down the three with 5 seconds remaining. Timeout, Coach Meacham. Jake Hendricks, his 6th three of the ball game, gives the Bobcats a 59-56 lead with 4.7 remaining in the fourth. 5.9 seconds. Got to get it in due to Harley. Now in the hands of Johnson. 4 seconds, 3 seconds. Johnson. Crazy three at the window and it won't go. And the Skyview Bobcats upset the American Fork Cavemen 59-56. What a game from Jake Hendricks. The three went begging from Johnson. Skyview will move on to the winner's bracket of the Elite Eight tournament. Stay tuned for our post-game wrap-up and our Nudge Player of the Game selection. And welcome back to American Fork High School. Again, our final score: the Skyview Bobcats 59, the American Fork Cavemen 56. Story of this ball game is Jake Hendricks 6 threes in this game, 3 in the in the second quarter, and then 3 down the stretch. None bigger than the game winner with 5.9 seconds remaining to give the Bobcats an improbable win against American Fork. American Fork, one of the top-rated teams in the state of Utah, and Skyview coming in this game. Really, we thought American Fork would pull away. We're down 13 points in the second quarter, and that is when Hendricks got hot, hit 3 threes, pulled the Bobcats within 2 points, and then went in at halftime down 5. But, man, what a game from Skyview. Played very well, especially in the second half. For American Fork, sputtering moments throughout the game. Brennan Bailey had a quiet second half, a tough second half, and really never got their offense solidified throughout the game. Guys who just took spurts in this game and never really kept the offense moving, where for Skyview, when you have a guy like Hendricks who's got a hot hand, they're able to feed him and play very well, and they were able to do that and get a big win here in the preseason, but also to turn like this to give them some confidence getting ready for a state tournament that's just a couple of months away. But again, our final score, the Skyview Bobcats 59, American Fork 56. Again, congratulations to our Nudge Player of the Game, Jake Hendricks, with 6 threes and the game winner for Skyview. Nudge, with over 500 employees, is one of the fastest growing companies in Utah Valley. To learn more about Nudge and the community outreach programs, go to www.nudge.com. Again, our final score, Skyview 59, American Fork 56. For Vince Francis, I'm Dusty Lister. Thanks for joining us and watching High School Rewind's coverage of the Utah Elite Eight tournament, only on Xfinity On Demand.